Hello, my name is John Gemeroy, and go by John, um, and my pronouns are he, him. My social work interest mainly comes from my desire to work with family and youth, from my experience being a foster parent and wanting to help youth and families through whatever sort of social condition they're in, or what they're struggling with at the time, and doing that through counseling. Um, so that's where I'm at now. I'm still open to. I also am curious about working in the working with people who are struggling with chemical dependency. I used to be a medical assistant, and I worked in a clinic that worked with chemical dependent patients. So that's something that I'm very interested in as well. Um, After 1 week of class, how would you describe your social location and positionality? So when I go through my social location, um, I think of several things. One being my race, so white, and another being religious affiliation, which would be, I consider myself post-Christian, but Christianity is one of the main frameworks that I have worked through in my life. Post-Christian because I no longer affiliate with that religion. However, there are certain there are certain aspects of that religion that I still think are important, even though I don't tie them to some sort of metaphysical reality. Um, and then my economic status, which would be middle class, and my gender, which would be cis male. Um, and so, in regards to positionality, as far as like social hierarchies go, I would be at the top of all of those. And so, kind of what I've been doing for several years now is doing a deconstruction process of how to figure that out. Where, how do I be a social worker and be at the at the top of all those things, hierarchically? I I am one of the ways I've done that is with religion, deconstructing my religious upbringing, and my religious beliefs. The second is my whiteness. I don't know if you can be post-white, but something that I've been doing is looking into my heritage, and looking at where I came from. And I'm a third generation Finnish. My family's Finnish immigrants to America, and there's some cross or I don't know if there's intersectionality or not, but there is some um, connections here between my religious deconstruction, as well as my ethnic deconstruction or my whiteness deconstruction. And that is being looking into my Finnish heritage also led me to looking at how Christianity was brought to Finland, and how Scandinavian paganism and things like that kind of melded with Christianity, and how the people of Finland specifically kind of embraced Christianity, but also kept room for their own pantheon of gods. Interestingly, there's a god named Voinamoinen, which is a very funny sounding name, very Scandinavian. But I won't go too deep into it. But the idea is actually that they left room for him to come back after they no longer needed the Christ. They no longer needed Jesus. So I think that's very interesting that Finnish pagans actually, while they embraced Christianity when it came, they also kind of wrote into their mythology this idea that they might no longer need this, and that they would, keep room open for their old religious practices. So that's something that's just been really interesting to me, and something that I have learned a lot about. So thanks.